So picture this. You walk into a hospital for a scan, right? But the thing analyzing your images, it's faster, it's more consistent, and believe it or not, it's actually more accurate than a human expert. And no, this isn't science fiction. This is the new reality of medical diagnosis. Today, we're breaking down the head-to-head battle between AI and radiologists.
And let's just get right to the headline, the most shocking result. A huge 2023 study found that across a whole bunch of different diseases, AI's average diagnostic accuracy is hitting 95.5%. Compare that to 88.5% for human radiologists. You know, we're past the point of AI just catching up. In a lot of cases, it's already way ahead.
And look, this isn't some little experiment happening in a lab somewhere. We're talking about right now, in 2025. This technology is already up and running in more than 1,000 hospitals all over the world. This isn't coming, it's here.
So how in the world did we get here? Well, to really get it, we need to look at the strengths and, the weaknesses of our two contenders in this fight.
Okay, so in one corner, you've got the human expert. Radiologists go through years and years of intense training, but they're still human. They get tired, their performance can swing by up to 10% depending on their workload, and they miss things, between 8 and 15% of diseases actually. Then in the other corner, you have the AI challenger. It learns from millions of scans, its performance is rock solid 24/7, and its analysis purely driven by the data.
So here's the real question, right? What happens when you put them in a direct head-to-head comparison? Let's break down the actual numbers from some of the biggest medical studies out there.
And wow, when you see the numbers side by side, the difference is just staggering. I mean, look at this. Across the board, AI has a clear advantage. Accuracy, it's about 5 to 10% higher. The speed, this is insane. AI is anywhere from 10 to 90 times faster. Cost per scan gets slashed by up to 90%. But look at the most critical number here, misdiagnoses. AI cuts that rate in half. That is a game changer.
Let's get specific. Take breast cancer. There was this landmark study by Google Health back in 2020. They tested an AI against 6 really experienced radiologists on over 76,000 mammograms. The AI didn't just match them. Get this, it found cancers that the human experts completely missed in 9.4% of cases. That's almost 1 in 10 cancers that only the AI caught.
The life-saving potential gets even clearer when you look at lung cancer. A 2023 analysis of more than 50 studies found that AI isn't just more accurate, it can actually spot the cancer 2 to 3 years earlier than a human radiologist can. 2 to 3 years.
And why does that matter so much? Well, because if you catch lung cancer at stage 1, the 5-year survival rate just skyrockets from a grim 20% to over 80%. That 2 to 3 year head start that AI provides is, and this is not an exaggeration, quite literally the difference between life and death for so many patients.
This speed advantage is absolutely crucial in emergencies like a stroke. A Stanford study from 2023 showed AI was not only more accurate, but it spotted strokes 2 to 3 hours faster than radiologists. You know, when it comes to a stroke, they have a saying, time is brain. And that speed can mean the difference between a full recovery and a permanent disability.
So, okay, the data seems, well, pretty overwhelming in favor of AI. But what about the people on the front lines? What do the radiologists themselves actually think about this new challenger? Well, it turns out the medical community is pretty split on this. A 2024 survey found that the majority, about 60%, see AI as a helpful tool, something that makes them better at their jobs. But there's a pretty big chunk, 25%, who are genuinely afraid of being replaced by the technology.
This quote from Dr. Eric Topol really captures how a lot of medical leaders are thinking about it. The idea isn't man versus machine, it's man plus machine. The future, they're arguing, is one of augmentation, where AI does the heavy lifting and just makes the human expert even better. But then you have a leading voice from the world of AI, Dr. Jeffrey Hinton, who offers a much more disruptive prediction. He sees a fundamental shift in the job itself. He thinks AI is going to take over the bulk of the routine work, freeing up human radiologists to become these super specialists for only the most complex and tricky cases.
So, let's just step back from the professional debate for a second. What does all of this actually mean for you as a patient? Because the implications here, they're pretty profound.
For you and me, this boils down to 3 massive benefits. First, way faster diagnoses. We're talking about getting critical results in minutes instead of waiting for hours or even days. Second, more accurate results, slashing the number of misdiagnoses by up to half. And third, more affordable care.
If screening costs fall by as much as 90%, that makes healthcare more accessible for everybody.
And, this future is coming way faster than you might think. We're already at step 1. By 2027, experts are predicting AI will be the standard for most routine scans. And by 2030, it could be handling almost all of them, completely changing how we think about the early detection of disease.
So that leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? Is this technology just going to augment human expertise, creating a new kind of super-powered radiologist? Or are we watching the very beginning of a replacement where one of the most vital jobs in medicine is handed over to a silicon mind? The data is in, but the final verdict on the future of the profession, well, that's still being written.